Sex sells. So she got her tits out. And it worked. The health club guru from the 70s and 80s had his own airline. A lot of people have realised that public transport is a bit crap.
The vegan booty back in court today.
Tash Peterson wants us to be nicer to animals by not eating them or milking them or looking sideways at them, really. She's a hardcore vegan. She was back in court today because she was charged with disorderly conduct over a protest at Louis Vuitton in Perth some time ago.
Who was murdered for your leather bags?
She's pleaded not guilty, which means we'll get to see her back in court again. She's been in and out of the headlines for a couple of years now, but it wasn't until February 2020 that we really got to know her. That's when she stormed the field at Optus at the first AFL Women's Western Derby, and she ran into a brick wall.
You reckon Kiara Bauer is a vegan?
I don't know. I don't think you get guns like that by eating tofu. Tash was banned from every pub in WA, so she went to Melbourne. Her love of nature didn't extend to viruses, so she came back here just before the last lockdown with a new trick.
I think I know where you're going with this.
She learned the immutable law of business. Sex sells. So she got her tits out. And it worked. She's now got 3 Insta accounts which have 10,000 followers. She's got her own range of merchandise, her own donation page. She doesn't give away her vegan messages for free anymore. She puts most of her protest videos behind a paywall, but it's OnlyFans where she's making the real bucks. She has 1,400 subscribers who each pay $14.99 a month to see her drop her clothes.
1,400 subscribers at $14.99 a month.
It's 20 grand.
Yeah.
Every 4 weeks. She's only 27 years old. You can afford to get arrested and fined quite a lot when you're making that kind of coin.
Sounds like you're almost impressed.
Look, I think she's a complete idiot, and she's never going to convince me not to eat a duck. But from a pure business perspective, she's running rings around people who have got MBAs.
It's not going to last, though.
She'll be a flash in the pan, absolutely. No business lasts forever, particularly ones like hers.
Well, exactly. I mean, look at Ansett. It's been 20 years since it collapsed.
This was one of the most extraordinary business events in Australian history, but because it happened so soon after September 11, it had a lot of competition for our attention. Terrorists crashing planes into New York City should have been the defining industry event for a generation, probably 2 or 3 generations. 20 years later, along comes COVID, and the industry's back on its knees. Qantas is one of the world's best performing airlines at the moment, but 3 weeks ago, it announced it lost $2.7 billion.
Has anyone ever made any money out of airlines?
Qantas was profitable for quite a long time, but it was very much the exception.
Why do people keep investing?
Because executives get the smell of avgas in their nostrils. Airlines are addictive, they're sexy, it's big kit and big bucks, this combination of high-end engineering and high-end financing. A 737 has 600,000 moving parts. One A380 is $500 million US. It's like honey to a bee for entrepreneurs. Do you remember this guy?
Laurie Potter.
The health club guru from the 70s and 80s had his own airline.
What? Is Laurie Potter still alive?
He is. He's in Queensland somewhere running some kind of business development, entrepreneur, kung fu consultancy. But it's not just the flamboyant money men like Laurie and Richard Branson. When Richard Goyder stepped down as chief executive of Wesfarmers, he had the pick of the litter in business. Every company in Australia wanted him as chairman. He chose Qantas because chairing the Red Roo is the most prestigious corporate position in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, it's attractive for sure, but they lose money.
They lose trillions. Up until 2010, the global airline industry, since its inception, had failed to turn a profit. If you added up all the costs on one side, all the revenue on the other side, there were more costs. Things got a little better between 2010 and 2020. Then people started getting sick in China, and we were back to square one. The losses booked by the world's airliners since March last year eroded all the profits they made in the previous 10 years. The airline industry is the heavyweight champion of the world when it comes to corporate collapses. Ansett got to where it was through amalgamations with 66 bankrupt competitors.
That's insane.
Guess how many airlines have collapsed or merged in WA since 1960? Just in WA and just since 1960.
How many?
50.
What?
In Australia, there have been more than 100. In the world, 500.
Well, the government is determined to keep Qantas flying.
As they should. They know that we need a national carrier. And not just so we can feel good about being able to still call Australia home. Think about this. Who brought COVID vaccines to Australia? Who rescues Australian citizens when the shit hits the fan overseas? A RAF Hercules is great for lifting Humvees and military equipment. It's not so good for families with young kids.
No, you'd be better taking the train.
Really? The WA government is desperate to get us back on trains, but we don't want to. Mark McGowan and Rita Saffioti have gone all Willy Wonka,
I've got a golden ticket.
offering golden tickets to let us catch trains and buses and ferries. This is because we all stopped catching public transport during COVID for very good reason, and 15% of us stayed in our cars ever since. A lot of people have realised that public transport is a bit crap. The government's trying to lure us back with this little gimmick. The first prize is a year's free public transport. Second prize is 2 years.
I don't know, I reckon it's going to take more than a free smart rider.
People don't want to be given a free ticket, they want to be given a free bodyguard. There were 206 assaults on Perth trains last year. That's just on the guards. A transit officer was bashed every 36 hours last financial year. That's up 20%. These guys have got handcuffs and batons and tasers. What hope do you and I have? And it's not just a safety issue. They reckon passenger numbers are down 15%, but every car park at every train station is still full by 7:30 in the morning. Lewis Hamilton thought jostling at Monza was dangerous. Try getting a bay at Bull Creek Station at 7:45. And then if you do make it onto the train, good luck finding somewhere to park your ass. Are you going to use that shot?
Of course.
That is exactly what she wants us to do. I'm Ben Harvey. For more Up Late, click the subscribe button below.